Hey everybody, hey Facebook Live. Happy Monday night. How are you guys doing? I'm gonna wait a second and say hi to some of you really quick, and then I'm just gonna share with you my thoughts because there's so much in here. And yay, Sonia's on. Okay, cool. And Cheryl and Christina, hi my friends. Okay, hi Sissy. Long time no see. All right, well, I'm going to just get right to it because I really don't want this to be an extremely long video. And I'm gonna try my best to not make it be. But I kid you guys not. Well, let me just start with this. Let's just say this. You know how you go to some events and they're good and you come back with good notes and you know, you feel like you have some tangible stuff to work on, whether it's like a retreat or a business, whatever, right? I've been on lots of different training type motivational retreats through churches, all kinds of stuff like that, right? And I promise you guys, this was by far the best event I have ever attended. Oh, here we go. Dang it. Okay. This is not supposed to be an emotional thing, I promise. I'm going to just go through it. But even just me saying that is making me just already get emotional because you just can't not get emotional if you attended that event. And thank you for the hearts. If you were there and you attended, you guys know what I'm talking about. We sat there the whole weekend looking at each other, me and my sister, me and the girls just going, like we just didn't even almost have words to say because it wasn't just good. It wasn't just, oh, there's some good tangible things that I need to work on, right? It really was life-changing, and I do not know how to express that to you guys anymore. You guys know I'm crazy dramatic with my words and that I say all these, but I don't use maybe that word that often. This was a life-changing event. I'm making it a point. I'm already thinking of some things, and some of my team's on here, so I'm not going to say it all yet, of what I'm going to do to ensure that there are 100 people from my team there next year. It's going to happen. 100 people from my team minimum are going next year. Because it's not even an option, okay? So if you're watching this and you're just getting started in direct sales, or you've built somewhat of a team, or you've kind of gotten somewhere and you maybe feel stuck or discouraged, or there could not be a better investment for you than to go on right now, buy a big bulk of tickets, and they're not paying me for this, okay? Eric and Marina, we're not besties, okay? They're not saying, oh, go promote this event. But I'm telling you guys from the bottom of my heart, I don't care what company you're with, make that investment to get there next year and commit to it right now. And get your teams to commit to it right now because that's going to ensure that they're in this game for at least a year, right? I promise you it's worth it. I just cannot, I had to start with that because it was just that good. And there's no way on a Facebook Live for just, yeah, Chanel, exactly. It was so amazing. There's no way even on a Facebook Live for just a few minutes I can even describe what we all took in. And that's the point of you getting there, right? It's kind of like when someone watches a movie and they tell you it's the best movie ever. No, you have to be in the movie theater with the noise, feeling the emotion, or you just don't get the same vibe. And it's the same thing. You need to be at this event, you guys. I obviously can't tell you everything I learned. There is no possible way. Look at this booklet, okay? This is the booklet of notes that we had. And I'm just going to give you what I think really spoke to me and maybe will help some of you. And I'm just going to read through some of them. I pulled out all the pages of the stuff I starred. And actually, this is what I would say too. If you guys don't have time to listen to this whole thing or go through it, I would go onto this website, the Most Powerful Women in Network Marketing website, and look at all the speakers and go follow every single one of these people. You need to link up with people who are doing this business, who have been in this business longer than you, who have made the pitfalls, who have learned, who have been through it, and are not in your company, okay? Yes, I did say that right. I'm gonna say that's one of the first things I realized and that a lot of us understood is you need to get outside of your own bubble if you really want to expand your influence and get good at your skills, okay? And I didn't even really understand that or think that that was as necessary as it is until this event. You're around a bunch of people, a bunch of women specifically, that are in all kinds of companies I'd never even heard of, and are doing this business. And sometimes, you guys, we get in our own companies and we get in our groups and we just cling together, and that's great. We need the sisterhood. We need to be in that family unit and be proud of that. But sometimes we're all hearing the same message and we're stuck with the same things. Get out of hearing from the same people all the time, even your same teams and uplines. There's power in other voices. Okay, I promise you that was one of the biggest things we learned. There is so much power in coming together with other people who are outside of your organization. So there's the first thing I'm going to say that we learned was, if you're having some problems, look at your circle of influence. And if it is strictly people from your company, you are missing the boat. Big time, big time. There is an entire world out there of fantastic women, you guys, who will love on you, who will support you, who will uplift you, and who will give you golden nuggets. And they're not going to always come from your company, and that's okay. All right, so you need to get outside that bubble. That was one of the biggest things that we learned. So I'm going to tell you this too. I got the chance to, get up there and share with the Rising Star panel, and it was incredible, you guys. Like, I haven't even processed it because I don't want to over analyze it or make it like this some big thing, but I was very grateful that I got to do that. But because of this, okay, let me just tell you this: when you're faithful with things that God puts in your life that are small, and you don't go striving to make things happen, He will bring them to you. Okay, I did not ask for that. I did not. He allowed me to be there through just something so random. And I quoted, when I was up there, Esther Spina from The Ambitious Woman. I love her. She's like one of the best. That book has changed so much about how I see this business and myself and all kinds of things, right? Sorry, here I go. I'm already crying, but that was going to happen. I quoted her on Friday night, and I said, one of the best things that I could give you guys as a piece of advice that I feel like I've done well in my business is to discipline my disappointments. And I just shared that, right, from Esther's book. Whatever, moved on, and the night went on, and the next day came around. And we're at lunch, and we're heading back from our lunch and going into our session, and I had a message. My Facebook had a message from Esther Spina. Now, you guys may not think that's any big deal, okay? But that's like, I was blown away. I was like, Stephanie, Esther Spina messaged me. Like, she literally just messaged me, and she sent me the most sweetest, encouraging message. Someone must have told her that I was talking about her, uplifted me, totally just blew my mind, you guys. And I just bring that up to say, you never know. You never know. I met them. I'm telling you, go follow these people. Go follow these speakers. Jewel Tankard, this girl, I can't even, please, Angie, right, Stephanie, everybody who was there. Jewel Tankard was like a little fireball. She is like my sister from another mister. I'm like, I'm going to be Jewel Tankard, okay? I got to meet her. We got to connect. You guys, you just don't know, okay? So get out of the bubble and get there, and God will figure out the rest of the details of who you need to know and who you need to meet. You don't need to strive to make a name for yourself. You need to love people and go from there. So that's the second point. What is interesting to me, my sister and I were like decompressing some of this, is that the running theme behind every single person that spoke, it didn't matter if they were, on the newbie panel with me or they were the big $1 million earners. The running theme through every single person that spoke was, you need to be a good human. You need to be a good person. You need to love people. This is not just the talk of like, oh, we love people, and oh, I just want to help people. We all say that, right? Or at least we all truly want to hope for that. But the running theme behind every single one of them, you guys, was that these people care about people. They truly, truly do. And sometimes we just get in these things where we're like, our team isn't moving, my girls don't do anything, and my team, if my team would just do something. And it's like, no, you need to do something. Like, it's stop with your team. How about you love on your team? Yes, that crazy girl that's always complaining, the girl that doesn't ever do anything you tell her to, the girl that's just, love on her where she's at, and give your people the freedom to find themselves along this way. Love on people when they don't want to stick with you on this journey. It's happened to me. I've had many people that I think are super talented and amazing and want to do this, and they left. God forbid, you guys, somebody leaves your team, okay? It's gonna happen. You don't go unfriending people. You don't go blocking people. I mean, really, like, this is just common sense stuff, but sometimes we get caught up in the game. Well, I gotta unfriend her, or I gotta block her, or she joined another company. Give it a rest, people. Like, this is, you will not hear that kind of talk from the $1 million earners. They're all up there loving on each other. They're all in different companies, you guys. Some of them direct competitors with each other. And they don't care. They're loving on people, and they're letting their people have the freedom to be where they are. And if it's not in this journey, if they find that somewhere down the line it's not, then let them be. Let them go and love on them, okay? That's the kind of team that people want to join. You know what I mean? That's why these people are where they are, because people are attracted to that. People are not attracted to the bashers and the we're not friends and I have to delete you or block you. We got to get past the second grade playground stuff, because it's not going to work if you want to go far in your business, you know? So that was kind of a little bit of a tangent, and this is already, I have to like run through this and read this. So I said that, be a good human, care about people even when they are not making you money, okay? Love on them and encourage them. If you are discouraged, if you are upset, start saying, okay, get my eyes off of me. What can I do for somebody else? Go send out a $25 Starbucks gift card to somebody if you're really upset right now with your team. I'm not kidding. Do something, you know, to encourage the girls on your team when you're upset, and it will lift your spirits more than you even could imagine. Okay, Tanya said this, every master was a disaster, and be gentle with yourselves in the process. And I love that, because we see the big earners, and we always say somewhere in our minds, you guys, I don't know if you do this, but I've done this many times. I always make an excuse as to why they're probably there. Like, I'll always say, well, she started first, or she was, you know, had a big following. She was like an influencer on social media, or you always try to find a slight reason to undercut why they made it to the top and not give them the credit due, that they probably just worked their butts off and they let themselves fail a ton of times. And every one of them shared their stories, which again, don't forsake the power of your story, because it's everything. They had us in tears multiple times over and over. They had us in tears with their stories, because we just see the end result. We don't see the work that was put in. We don't see the foundation laid. We just see the big mansion house that they built. We didn't see the labor that went into it. And she just said that. I thought that was cool. Every master was a disaster, and probably still is, you know, behind closed doors. So be gentle with yourselves, be gentle with your minds along the process, and give yourself grace. Let yourself laugh when you fail. Go, yep, tried that, didn't work. You guys, I do it all the time. I'm trying all kinds of new things. I'm gonna be bold and try to start a YouTube. Like, it may fail. I might not be good. I'm deathly afraid. I have a lot of insecurities about it. And I've been saying it for months, and I'm getting off my butt, and I'm going to try. If it doesn't fail, guess what? God's going to lead me to a different route that will be fine. So we got to get past the whole being afraid to fail, okay? So be gentle with yourselves. Remember this. It's not about the end. It's about the person you become in the process. Would you guys not agree? Some of you who've been in this with me from the beginning, a little over a year now, or who've been in this longer, would you not agree you are not the same person? Can you give me a high five? If any of you are watching and you're in this to encourage some of the girls, would you agree that you're still you, right? You didn't lose yourself in the process, but give me like an emoji, I don't know, high five or something in the comments if you think that you are not the same person, right? You grow, you become a new person. And we talked about that so much throughout the weekend. There is no other industry, in my belief, that is hinged so much on personal development. Because corporate working world is all about who you can step on or step over or pull down to get their position, and you're praying somebody retires early so that you can take over her spot. You know what I mean? It's not like that here. It's literally the complete opposite. It's be selfless and serve and keep serving, and that's what will get you, right? We know that's in the Bible. If you want to be the greatest of these, you got to be the least, right? You got to serve. And I just think that is so cool, you guys. When you talk to prospects that are in corporate world, just share with them that. Say, listen, in corporate world, you know, and in this world, this is how it's hinged, and this is how it works. It's just so cool. Okay, if you want to make $10,000 a month, they said, you need to stop thinking about how I can get 10,000. How can I? What rank does that mean? What rank do I have to hit? It's about helping 10 people get to 1,000 a month. I don't know why, but that was so eye-opening to me. We think about our rank and how are we going to get our rank and how, but if you reverse the mindset and go, if I want 10,000 a month, I'm going to help 10 people who are the 10 people that want this bad and want to get to 1,000 a month. And think of things in those smaller chunks and they don't seem so big. And when you do that, it will come, you know? So, that was so good. I loved that. You guys, there's so much more. I'm just doing the highlights on my pages because look at, there's so much. Okay, here's the next thing. This is a really good one. You teach people how to treat you and you teach people how to treat your business. If you are still in this business, walking around timid, like I'm afraid, and I'm not talking about being scared, you guys. I still get scared. Every one of us gets scared. I freaked out. I'm sweating right now for real just because I hit this live button, okay? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you still don't have belief in your company. You still don't have belief in your product, and you still don't have belief in network marketing. You're going to have a problem, probably recruiting people. You know, so you wonder why people might not be taking you seriously. Think about how seriously you're taking it. Do you have the belief and have the full buy-in and have the full, because the way that you portray and think and act and say things, you're teaching people to think the same thing. So if you go out there, Martine Wallace, follow her. She's fantastic. I think she's an Aussie. She's amazing. She said, I didn't know anything about I'm not going to pretend to do her accent because it will go south. She said, I didn't know anything about anything. She just said, I wanted to run. I didn't know how to speak. I didn't know anything. I started telling people on the planes and everywhere I went that I was a professional speaker. She said, I just started putting that on my stuff. I'm a public speaker. And she literally goes around and speaks. She's like, I wasn't anything. But she had that belief and had that. And so when people listen to her, they're like, yeah, you are a public speaker. You guys, so much of this is in our minds. And if we're walking around timid, like, oh, I don't want to tell them what I do, I'm embarrassed that I'm in network marketing, then they're going to be embarrassed too. That's not going to make anybody want to join anything, right? So some of us need to work on that, and I'm guilty of it. Okay. Be engaged with those re-engage with those who disconnect. Okay, we all have the people we sign up, right? And then they start with the fire and then they fall off and they fall apart and they're like gone. And you're so heartbroken because you wanted it for them so bad. You got to stop dragging people in this business. You got to stop dragging people in this business. You uplift people. You do not drag people, okay? And that's very, very difficult for people who genuinely care and have a heart and know that people can do good, right? And you want it more for them than they want it for themselves. Re-engage with them, you guys. I've said this before. I still call my level ones that aren't really working the business, and I still check in. How are you? Has anything changed? I know in the beginning you said you wanted to make the $300 a month to help with the kids or the car payment. You know, I haven't heard from you in a few months, and I don't want to bombard you. I just want to make sure you're doing okay. I don't want to talk to you about business. Forget business. I'm just here for you. Is everything okay? Are we still on track? Did something change along the way? And that's fine if it did. And guess what? I've had people tell me, yes, things have changed along the way, and I'm putting that on the back burner. And I say, okay. And they tell me, can you just pray for me? Of course I'll pray for you. And I'm here for you when you're ready to come back. Do you know how much freedom and joy that gives people versus, sorry, girl, I don't got time for you. I got to work with the people who are running this thing. I mean, yes, in a way that's kind of true. You do, but you don't need to treat people that way. Just give them grace, you know, just like you're going to give yourself grace. So there you go. All right, so here's a picture of some of the fantastic mompreneur panel. If you can, the camera's backwards, you're not going to see their names, but you guys, this event, they had the moms up there talking real stuff. I mean, we were crying, right? Girls that were there talking about leaving a legacy for your kids as a woman. See? There was a couple mother-daughter teams that their daughters are now in the business, who watched them do this business for like 30 years and were maybe ashamed of it at first or didn't understand why mommy was making sacrifices, and then got up on that stage and said, Mom, I know why you made the sacrifices now, and I see it, and I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of all you've done, and I'm proud. It was just like so much has been in here that I can't even touch on. The mompreneur panel was amazing. They had a couples panel talking about husbands who weren't supportive in the beginning. How many? He's in the other room. He would say the same thing. Okay, and just all the stuff, you guys. So this event is everything. You can tell from my emotion, I'm still on a high. It's coming out. I can't even help but pour out. It's just that fantastic. Okay, so then here's this. I said get outside your bubble, right? Here's one of the coolest things, you guys. They did a panel. It was a social media panel and the multi-million-dollar panel. And they said that, again, remember that these are all just tips and these are just our advice of what we've all learned, but there is truly no secret sauce. There is truly no one right way. I say that even all to my girls all the time. I say, listen, you guys, please don't take my word for it. Like, you may find another way. This is what I've learned. This is why we glean from other people outside our bubble, right? Because what I learned from this, some of you might be like, I didn't even learn that. I learned this, right? We all pull from different things. But I love that she said some of the panelists were sharing their best secrets, and then some of them would get up there and go, that seems crazy to me. I don't think I could do that. That's overwhelming to me. And there's so much freedom in that, to know that everybody finds their way along the way. But you're not going to find your way if you don't at least get going. Okay? So here's the thing is, you guys, we get in the car, okay? We kind of know the destination where we go, and we sit in the car, we turn the engine on, and we are just waiting for the perfect direction, okay? We're like, okay, I'm gonna look up maps, but I'm gonna look up Waze, and I'm gonna look up Google Maps, which direction is gonna get me the best. And you're just sitting there waiting for the most perfect plan and the most perfect direction. It's not gonna be there, because guess what? You're gonna start going one way. You're gonna start out on the 15 north to Orange County, and Waze is gonna cut you and go this way because there's an accident, okay? But you're not gonna know until you hit the gas pedal and start going, and it will often change along the way, you guys. So stop thinking there's this perfect solution, and it's really just an excuse. It really is, to be honest. I've done it. I've kind of been like, well, I don't wanna do that yet, or I wanna wait till I know. It's not gonna help you guys. It's just keeping you and holding you back. You've got to push the gas pedal and get going, and let the car figure out the route along the way to the destination, okay? You need to look at others for inspiration and not comparison. We also know that. When you're looking at people and following people, go follow them and take inspiration, not comparison, because comparison is the thief of joy, and we're going to get in that whole, why her, why her? If you're saying that, why her, you're in, all right, that's already a problem, okay? So none of the why her stuff. Just instead of why her, say if her, then me. Okay, so you switch it. You don't go, well, why her? She's not as smart as me. She doesn't have as many followers as me. I have 5 times more followers. No, you look at it and you go, if she can do it, then I can do it. Okay, so flip that mentality and go, if her, then me. Like, that's what we thought. We kept looking up there going, gosh, this is amazing. These girls are all broken just like we are. They're all in a good way, right? They all have some stuff they went through. And that's so encouraging. Leads me to my next point, and then I'm going to end. Share with your teams, whether it's on your pages or behind closed doors, your failures as well along the way. The picture perfect stuff ain't happening anymore. That's not attracting, in my opinion, okay, this is just my opinion, it's not gonna bring, I don't know. It's just, we crave authenticity right now in a day and age more than ever. You don't need to get on here and start talking about all the crazy stuff that happened and all. You need your core people that you go to for, I'm talking spiritual wisdom, of course, right? You don't say everything to everybody, but you need to know the balance, and you need to be able to get on here sometimes and be open with people and just let them know, listen, I don't know, and I have messed up with this or whatever, okay? And do that with your people and your girls, and don't just know that there's beauty in that, beauty in sharing failures and struggles, okay? It encourages people probably even more than the successes, especially if any of you are watching this and you are holding a significant title in your company. If you're holding a significant rank in your company, so people just need to know that you're real too, and that you struggle too, okay, at the top of your company, or that you've made failures. So it matters actually even more at that level. So there you go. All right. Last little thing. The windshield in a vehicle is bigger than the rear view mirror for a reason. Stop looking back more than you're looking forward. Look back and say, okay, I need to fix a few things, but there is a reason the windshield is bigger, because you are going forward. You're not going backwards. So stop looking in that rear. If you're looking in the rear view mirror more than you're looking forward, and you're looking about what you did wrong or what you missed out on or what your company should have done better at it, then you're missing the boat. You're going backwards, not forwards, okay? So look back to learn, but don't look back to It's not going to propel you forward. All right. So the way that you don't compare yourself is by knowing who you are and what you are called to do. I think that I am big on this, the purpose of what you're doing and who you are and what you're called to do. If you don't know that yet, you guys, you need to find that out. This is why we talk about personal development and self-development and understanding. Again, this does not mean you need to have it together and know how you're going to get there, right? Because we don't often know that. But you better believe I started this thing knowing who I am and what I am called to do. All the rest, I didn't have a clue, but I knew that much. And when you know who you are and what you're called to do in life, I don't care if it's network marketing or being a mom or being a wife or whatever, you will be okay through the bumps and the bruises because you go back to those two things and you will not compare yourself. You'll still have times where you get the doubts, but you won't compare because you know that you're called to do and that you are created uniquely and that you're different, right? So you've got to be you. That was the other big thing everybody was talking about. Be you, be you, be you. All right. There was one little last thing. Oh my gosh, and I'm done, I promise. Any questions? I don't know what you guys, I'm looking at them. Let me end on this because it was a good ending thing. And I just wanted to read it to you. There's just way too many. Shoot, I lost it. It was like, so many. This is why, you guys, I get scattered and I just was going too fast. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, here we go. And then we're done. Ask yourselves, we always say, what are we willing to do in this business? But you should also ask yourselves, what are you willing to give up? That's a big one because sacrifice is a part of this. And if you're thinking this business is going to blow up by fitting it into the nooks and crannies here and there, nobody got to where they were without sacrifice, okay? So instead of always saying, what am I willing to do? What am I willing to do? Maybe ask yourselves what you're willing to give up, okay? I don't know what that will be for you. To be a person that you're not is wasting the person that you are. We talked about that. We talked about comparison. Oh, so good, right? Here's the last bit. Marry the process, okay? That's what I'm going to be working on. I need a good, solid process. I've been all over the place, running around with my hair on fire for a year, and I'm getting a solid process for my girls. It's coming, girls. Marry the process, divorce the outcome. Never complain about what you will allow. Oh, that's a good one, right? We are always complaining, but then speak up and stop allowing it in your life, or then you don't get to complain. Never complain about what you will allow. SWSWSWSW, okay? Some will, some won't, so what? Some are waiting. Isn't that cool? A little acronym, SWSWSWSW. And then you don't learn something when you remember it. You learn something when you can't forget it. Isn't that just good, you guys? How cool is that? This is just my little cliff notes, so you can imagine how much better this really was by being there, right? I hope it helped you. I hope it encouraged you. I hope you're on fire to just remember at the end of the day, no skill and no strategy in the world matters if you do not love people more than what they're going to do for you and your organization, okay? So that's why books are there. If you don't, if you're genuinely sitting there going, I don't know how to love people and people get on my nerves, that's a real thing. I get that, okay? Not everybody wakes up and is like, hey, we're besties. That's why you need books. That's why you need to self-develop. And that's why you will get there, you guys. You can get there. Your heart can grow and become bigger, okay? And find a spot for people. So that's it. What do you guys think? Was it fun? It was so fun, huh? So good. All right. Love you guys. Sorry it was long, but there was just no other way to do it. I wish I could sit here and talk with you forever and ever and ever, but I will look forward to meeting all of you there next year. We're going to be there with 100 people on our team at least, okay? And we're just going to do this thing. So love you, ladies and men. All right. See you guys.